Even a simple quick jog can become extremely dangerous if you're in the middle of the wilderness, where nature reigns. In this video, we'll tell the tragic story of Andrea Papi, a 26-year-old man who went for a run near his home in the Italian Dolomites and never came back. One of Papi's worst fears came true when he came face to face with an angry brown bear. The young man tried to fight, but he was no match for the mighty creature. Andrea Papi was killed by a bear. His death sparked a wave of controversy and debate in Italy. It was around 4 p.m. on April 5, 2023, when Andrea Papi bid his girlfriend goodbye and went for his usual run. At 26 years old, Papi was a healthy man, and he was also quite athletic. Going on runs was his usual way of blowing off steam and staying in shape. To top it off, he had the best gym out there. No gym at all, that is, but the great beauty and vastness of the Italian Dolomites right at his doorstep. Andrea Papi lived in Caldes, in northern Italy. Caldes is located in the Val di Sole, a valley in Trentino, which is surrounded by mountain peaks, each of them covered in miles and miles of forest. Papi's house was right in the woods. When he left the house, he was already in the mountains. When you live out there so close to wild animals and the vicissitudes of nature, you have to know there's a certain risk to even the most mundane activities. Andrea Papi certainly did. The 26-year-old was aware his runs weren't completely safe. Every now and then, before leaving his house, Papi would joke with his girlfriend. "Let's hope we don't find the bear," he would say. Papi, like any other sane person, was scared of the possibility of encountering an apex predator. But those who live that close to nature have to learn to live with the danger. Despite his fear, Papi never gave up. At around 4 p.m., Andrea Papi promised his girlfriend, Alessia Gregori, he would pick her up at her physiotherapy studio in the nearby town of Male, and then they'd go to a birthday party of a relative. The couple agreed to meet up at 7 p.m. Papi bid Gregori goodbye, and away he went, making his way down his usual jogging route on Montepeller. With an elevation of over 7,608 feet, Montepeller is a peak in Val di Sole, Trentino. The entire region of Trentino is mountainous. In fact, the region is renowned for its mountains, the Dolomites, which are part of the Alps. With therapeutic springs and impressive mountain slopes perfect for high-class skiing, Val di Sole is certainly a beautiful place. The flora and fauna of the area complete the picture, making it an ideal alpine landscape. But where there are mountains, as Andrea Papi was very well aware, there are also predators. Around 90 bears live in the area around Caldes, Papi's hometown. The animals had been reintroduced to the area some 30 years ago and have since made their presence known. There have been 7 attacks in the last 23 years, none of them fatal. But the latest attack had taken place only a month before, in March 2023, when a man was attacked by an angry bear. Even more, there have been several instances of bears mauling farm animals throughout March. The wound was still fresh, people were scared, and authorities struggled to decide what course of action to take regarding the bears. So Andrea Papi was right to feel cautious as he jogged. The afternoon was beautiful, the air fresh, the woods alive and buzzing. There was no one to witness what happened next, not even a soul. At one point during his run, 26-year-old Andrea Papi encountered a bear. Maybe he stumbled upon the bear, taking it by surprise and awakening its anger. Or maybe the bear was predatory, having stalked Papi long before making its horrific move. Perhaps we'll never know the specifics. What we do know is that Papi never made it out of the woods. The bear attacked. Andrea Papi tried to fight for his life. He had a girlfriend, a family, and a dog. He had a life worth fighting for. He looked around himself, trying to find something, anything that could work as a weapon. There was nothing more than a broken tree branch. Desperate to survive, Andrea Papi did his best to fend off the crazed animal, but it wasn't enough. The animal struck. The bloody tree branch fell down to the ground. The bear proceeded to maul the man. It bit Papi's arms, stomach, head, and throat. Then it dragged Papi's body some 300 feet further into the woods before abandoning it for unknown reasons. Andrea Papi was dead. As hours passed, Alessia Grigori, Papi's girlfriend, became more and more worried. Papi had failed to pick her up from her studio. The woman knew something was wrong. She could feel it. It wasn't like Andrea to not show up. She couldn't sit and wait around. She had to do something. Grigori called Papi's mother, but the older woman had no idea where her son was. By now, Grigori was really afraid. She went to check at the foot of the mountain, but she couldn't find a trace of her boyfriend. It was getting dark outside, and as night fell, she could feel something was not right. That's when she called authorities. Maybe it was because of the recent bear attacks, but authorities organized a full-fledged search party with search dogs in tow. It took them hours and hours to find Andrea Papi's body. It was past 3 a.m. when the Carabinieri, the Italian police, knocked on Alessia Grigori's door and delivered the devastating news. Her boyfriend was dead, and all evidence pointed towards a bear attack. An autopsy was scheduled to officially confirm it, but the mauling injuries all over Papi's body were enough to confirm it was a bear that killed the young man. The bloodied branch was another clue, and bear DNA was found on Papi's injuries. With Andrea Papi being the first bear fatality in Italy, controversy didn't fail to arise. Papi's family declared their intention to denounce the autonomous province of Trento and the state for having reintroduced bears in the region 30 years ago. Alessia Grigori, Papi's girlfriend, had this to say: "Many people cannot understand that we live in the woods and that it is indeed a habitat of the bear, but also ours. When I leave the house, I'm already in the mountains. Here there is no park to go running in peace. I also understand that the animal acted instinctively to defend itself. I do not see a fault in this. The problem is the poorly managed situation in the Life Ursus project, which got out of hand. Authorities decided the bear needed to be euthanized if found. The president of the province of Trento, Maurizio Fugatti, announced a total of 3 potentially dangerous bears will be culled. They are predatory animals and as such represent a danger for those who live in the mountains, for tourists, for flocks," said Reinhold Messner, a famous Italian explorer. This announcement sparked protest among animal welfare associations. Fugatti also said that his ultimate goal is to reduce the overall number of bears on the territory from the current 90 to 50 because their presence has become incompatible with the safety of mountain communities. But no amount of culling can ever bring Andrea Papi back. He was only 26 years old. Papi was described as a golden boy, a wonderful, polite person who did his best to make others feel included and never got angry. Papi's mother told reporters, "Maybe if he had taken his dog with him, he would still be here. He would have gone for the bear to protect Andrea. His last words to me were, 'I love you. I will see you for dinner.'"